I say, let the quiet carry our names. From the red dust I rise, feather in my hair, smoke in my eyes. And Kosisi Kilela, child of the skies. Tenakoto I call where the ocean lies. Om Shanti under banyan shade. Ayamama where the rivers prayed. Pachamama, feel this beating hand. From the tundra fire to the desert sand. Aho, aho, tongues of the first fire. One drum, one earth, one choir. Shalom, salam, may the warbles tire. Peace on the bones of our anger. Aho, aho, hearts like a white sky. We breathe as a single choir. Om Shanti, 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 higher. Peace on the bones of our anger. I'm holding your name, even if we've never met. Same flame, sawa sawa, let the children play. Habibi, let the old hate fade away. Papa Tuanuku, hold us close. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo on every coast. Waheguru in the city roar. Tikkun Olam in every store. Aho, aho, tongues of the first fire. One drum, one earth, one choir. Shalom, salam, may the warbles tire. Peace on the bones of our anger. Aho, aho, hearts like a white sky. We breathe as a single choir. Om Shanti, 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 higher. Peace on the bones of our anger. Yasin, we remember. I say in the heat of December.
Aya, aya, heal the line. Back to the first word, back to the first sign.
Accept lux.
Let the dawn come through us.
Ubuntu, Ubuntu.
I am because you move me.
Ho'oponopono.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. Thank you. All my relations. Aya, pumbuto kawase yata.
Unecha
Tikaye sawa.
Unehtayawa sumekawai.
Inoche tawasaheya.
Aho, aho, tongues of the first fire. One drum, one earth, one choir. Shalom, salam, may the warwolves tire.
Peace on the bones of our anger.
Aho, aho,
Hearts like a white sky. We breathe as a single choir.
Om Shanti, 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 higher.
Peace on the bones of our anger. From the first cry
to the last sleep.
Hey, this is Brindlewolf. You're listening to Rise Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action, with programs to spark your growth, lift your spirits, and help you rise into your potential. Rise Awakenings, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice where dreams awaken and climb. Rise Awakenings, now is the time. Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.
It's Brindlewolf and Diane.
welcome to the first episode of Phoenix Talks, a podcast that Diane and I are going to be bringing to you. And we're going to be talking about various different topics that we can decide we're going to talk about the most.
Will lead to our refinements. Phoenix Talks, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can, as they help us to transform and find refuge from the storm. Because all the branches they will climb for you, just in the nick of time. With Brindlewolf and Diane, Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can, as they help us to transform and find refuge from the storm. Because all the branches they will climb for you, just in the nick of time. Because they have a lot to say. Yeah, you'll feel different in every way. Oh, in alignment they have flown. Your transformation will be shown. Phoenix Talks, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can. With Brindlewolf and Diane, Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can. Here's the truth. No one will tell you. You will never know just how valuable you really are. You are more than the number, more than an amount. The value inside you, no one can count. Taught from very early ages that value is found in high wages. Success is measured by the top jobs, mostly filled with tyrants and snobs. What does value really mean? Isn't it time that we all come clean to realize the true value hiding inside? Always worth more, no need to hide. You should know that. You are more than a number, more than a number, more than an amount, oh, more than an amount. The value inside you, no one can count. A fire of truth, not enough have been shown. A treasure of wealth that only you own. The impact you make may never be seen, glorified by society on what that should mean. Can't be tracked in a register or in a quarter. There's more that's inside to take note of. A gift that was given for you to share, when not enough realizes always been there. Society demands different by design, while inside the truth becomes a blurred line. You forget that. You are more than a number. You are more than a number, more than an amount, oh, more than an amount. The value
worth it. Not a credit line to forfeit. A piece of spirit that only you own. Regardless of lies that you have been shown. You are more, but no need to count. More than an amount can't be defined. Inside you, divinely pure. No one can count. No fire of truth. No need to refine. Not enough have been shown, but it's there. Treasure of wealth, oh, that only you own. When you remember that no one dictates your worth but you will realize your true value that was gifted from the very beginning.
That was so awesome.
Thank you.
That felt like old school R&B. Like I went back into the 90s for a minute.
Yep.
That
It
was a great vibe.
reminded me most of Maroon 5 style.
It's awesome.
But I like I've said, I've probably listened to that song more than any other that I've created in a very short amount of time.
I love it.
And not just to create the lyric video either. Welcome everybody to Phoenix Talks. I want to, and Diana I think agrees, I want to dedicate tonight's episode to Dolly Parton's memory, because what we're going to talk about tonight, she exemplified in so many ways in every life that she touched, to remind everybody that they were more than a number. So this was actually your
My topic. So I love the song. The song hit the nail on the head, because there's so many ways that we devalue ourselves or never learn that we even have value to begin with. Let's start with that one. That shows up in so many different aspects of our life that is directly related to our self-worth, whether we think we love ourselves or not, myself included. We're still learning the deep layers of conditioning that removed our value from us.
Yeah.
Maybe not removed it. I'm correcting myself. Maybe just buried it under decades
diminished
of programs and conditioning piled onto you to bury it.
Yep.
So let's unbury it.
And here's an irony, because when I asked her, what do you want to talk about next week? I was actually creating a post that was based off of somebody else's post talking about numbers. Can't make this shit up.
No.
I try, but can't.
Right.
And I actually want to start there. Let's hang out on that branch for a little bit. Because
Let's hang out on that.
Social media, if numbers mean your worth, and you're a content creator specifically, or not, but if numbers matter to you, one of the quickest ways to devalue yourself is to focus solely on how many people have clicked, how many people have watched, how long they have watched,
Yep.
how many followers you have, how many friends you have, which the content creator, I'll give him credit. It was Alien Cosmo 1111 over on Instagram. Thank you, Alien, for making this video. I'm not going to share it, but it really brought to light what we're talking about tonight, because all of those people, all of those numbers could be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Your account could get hacked. They could just stop listening to you. They could just stop engaging. They could get bored, go somewhere else. You could create a new account to see if anybody actually followed you. Because he's got
hundreds of thousands of followers on his main account. He created another one, has less than 1,000.
So what happens when the power turns out? When the power goes out for all of us? What happens when there's this big dramatic brownout that everyone talks about and conspirarizes about? Because
You gotta love how we make up words here.
I listen, that's one of my things. But but we have to stop for a moment and decide for ourselves, what do I think of myself? How do I feel about myself? Who am I? And be that person, and just be it fully and unapologetically as you evolve and grow into a more and more refined version of yourself. And just allow yourself to exist without comparing yourself to anyone or anything, without judging yourself for any reason, without deciding it's supposed to go in ways that you've been told it should go. Just being the version of you and seeing what happens. I'm not saying not taking action, but you're taking aligned action towards yourself. Okay, I'm going to quote Dolly Parton right now.
Go for it.
Find out who you are and do it on purpose. If you do that, you're not paying attention to numbers. You already know your value. You already know your worth. You already know who you are. And you already, here's another one from Dolly Parton. I'm going to quote Dolly tonight.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you for pulling those up. I appreciate it.
If you don't, she said this, I know who I am and I don't try to be anybody else. So that's where we want to bring ourselves to be, because otherwise we're just a number. We're just a price tag. We're just a service. We're just babysitters. We're just a cashier. We're just a daughter. We're just. And we're devaluing ourselves in ways that seep into how we behave in relationships, how we behave in circumstances that arise for us to navigate through, how we behave with information we receive that's uncomfortable, whether it's about us or someone else. It really shows in how we present ourselves, because people who value themselves know by how you treat yourself and how you show up, if you value yourself. We know what peacocking and fluffing looks like, and we understand it and we see it clearly because we've been there before. We've passed through that gate, and we're at our own levels now, wherever they are, still evolving.
I always find it amazing that we parallel peacock and peacocking with showing our beauty, showing who we are, especially since it's one of the most violent, foul, feathered friends in the bird species, especially towards itself.
Well, at least he has its looks. He might be a jerk, but at least we have his looks.
See, there's more to the story to peacocking than meets the eye.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
I was thinking of, like, this topic came up for me personally because I'm redoing the website and I'm talking about changing my pay scale and schedule and how that's going to look and feel, and that's going to be an evolving thing, which is not a good business practice. But I don't know what it's supposed to look like either. I'm trying things, and a business is supposed to evolve. So things are going to change. Structures are going to change internally in order for there to be expansion. So I know my worth and my value, and I physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually feel the imbalance
Mm-hmm.
what I give versus what I'm getting in return. For
And that's
what the
why
work
I'm
that I
doing the same thing.
do. Mm-hmm.
And anybody who follows me over on Facebook knows that there's some major shifts going on.
Mm-hmm.
I've also taken my website down, and it's going to be rebuilt soon
Mm-hmm.
somewhere else in a different way with
Yeah.
new things to evolve. And the shift over on the Book O Face, as we'd have to say it if we were on TikTok, haha, because
Yep.
heaven forbid we mess with their numbers. See what I did there?
Yes. The idea is you need to evolve and you need to stop it looking at things that are kind of irrelevant to your overall health and well-being and are actually self-sabotaging. So how do you show up in relationships? How do you show up in ways that you don't value yourself? I'm talking to you people pleasers, overgivers, overextenders.
The ones who related with the lyrics of the song.
Uh-huh. In what
I saw
ways,
that.
right? If you still overgive and overextend and not have those boundaries firmly in place and keep setting firmer boundaries as you learn your new parameters of tolerance, because I promise you, your tolerance level goes down once you start noticing your value and worth inherently. And let's talk about the inherently piece for a minute, if we can land
Yeah,
for a
please.
moment.
Yeah, please.
We are these energy beings placed here inside of this human meat suit to have a human experience. I don't care what your beliefs are. That's the science behind whatever your beliefs are. That being said, we are these intense, immense, infinite balls of energy. You can't begin to wrap your head around what that even means. And I'm a spiritual guide and a spiritual way shower in many, many, many ways. The more I learn, I don't know what the fuck I know and don't know, and I have not so much more to learn. So always the student and the teacher where I'm meant to be.
That actually makes a great teacher. A teacher who knows everything and feels like you have to follow every single thing that they say is not a good teacher,
And
because
they
they're not flexible to learning that there's more than just what comes out of their mouth and into their own spirit and into their own guidance, because they could be right, but at the same time, like doctors, wrong.
yeah. And I'm going to go add on to that and then come back into this piece that's also an example on some level of them not valuing themselves. I value myself and I know I'm worthy. Therefore, I'm not threatened by anything, anyone, anywhere, for any reason, at any time. You do you, man, whatever. Like, nothing freaking bothers me.
Why do you laugh at me all the time? Because you're just fucking funny.
Except when my radar goes off for when I'm being disrespected.
Then step back, because the Italian's going to come out.
The Jersey Italian. Don't forget the Jersey part. That's very important.
There's a hidden Dorothy in there somewhere.
But the idea is we are all learning and growing and evolving, and we're still learning what it means to value ourselves. So firstly, be open to the idea that you were definitely taught not to value yourself, because how are they supposed to control you like that? If you know your worth, you're not controllable. So knowing your own value and worth includes deciding to be open to learning what that is every step of the way. We're figuring it out as we go. That's what we're doing as people. We're just figuring this Jersey Italian life out. I'm reading Deborah's comment. We're learning ourselves as we go. We're learning this human experience and what that means for us as we go. So if you know who you are and you're solid with who you are, then you don't need numbers. You don't need price tags. You will be magnetic and things will align towards you, including opportunities for your abundance that's specifically meant for you. It's really about aligning yourself to what you have in store for you that you can't even fathom.
Right.
I almost feel like people are like, oh, I'm going to manifest this, I'm going to manifest that. And you have to be specific. Here's this contradiction that I get in the spiritual world. So I'm still navigating through that piece myself as a student of spirituality continuously. Okay. It's infinite. That doesn't get taught in 1 month or 10 years. We're down on human land, like. So
There's an interesting point for people who don't feel valuable, is that there is an infinite amount of connection that you can make with spirit.
mm-hmm.
You cannot run out. You cannot run out of prosperity and abundance. And I actually, before I lose this, speaking of prosperity, now, what I'm about to say, a lot of people will say, well, you can't take this ideology to the bank when the prosperity isn't there. Okay, you're 100% right. But if you could, let's say we all have a DNA bank. Do you know that if we could have that actual parallel, that you're a trillionaire? Because it takes trillions of DNA cells to make you. Speaking of cells, did you know that you're made up of billions of cells? It takes billions of cells that came together on top of the DNA to make you. Can you take that to the bank as prosperity? No. But if you base your personal value off your actual prosperity coming in, you've already lost.
Mm-hmm. Remember who you are. Remember you are this divine being that's in this human experience, and that this human experience has been made up for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It's whoever's in charge that makes up the rules and writes the books. So maybe you need to discover that you are this divine being having a human experience, part of nature, part of everything there is infinitely. And let's see what April says. I want to give more than I am physically or mentally or emotionally capable of. Therefore, I devalue myself. Absolutely.
I was actually trying to pin that for when you were done. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no,
okay.
That's totally fine, because it ties right in. Because the recognition is, how am I devaluing myself? Trust how you feel about it. What are you feeling in your body? What's your body telling you? Are you listening to your body? Or are you distracted by your body and listening to what others are telling you about your body? Your body is a messenger. Anything physically going on with your body, anything, even if it's surprise, this is happening with some kind of lesson involved for your emotional feelings and health and wealth and growth and evolution, spiritually, mentally, whatever. All of that is for you to experience, to solidify your value. Okay. And the lens through which we view our experience is greatly affecting our value. So you need to make the decision and give yourself permission to decide that you are valuable inherently just by existing. Your existence alone. I feel another Dolly one coming on. Your existence alone creates a ripple. And Dolly says, smile, it increases your face value. Be you. Be joyful. Be that person that you want to be so bad but are afraid to be because of the noise around you and the danger the seeming danger around you. Okay, now if you're in real danger, get out, you know the thing. But know your inherent worth just by existing. Just by existing. How many people just lean on you for everything, right? Why do you think you are the people pleaser? Why do you think everybody comes to you for everything? Why do you think people place all these obligations and responsibility on you? Why do you think people lean on you to keep the peace? Why do you think people ask you to do everything? Because you have value despite what they're saying. You have inherent worth and value. And you have to decide to accept that truth, period. And I think
And
that's
how you choose to spend that value, they do not get to dictate. And if you give it freely and then come moan and groan that that's all that they take, I'm learning this lesson in real time. The discomfort of setting boundaries, go watch that episode. But the discomfort of setting boundaries is why people get stuck in devaluing themselves and continuing to give more and continue to please, try and people please everybody around them, trying to balance it out, never really taking enough time for themselves, and then wondering why their inner storehouse and banks are empty. I'm just going to stare into your soul for a second, okay?
and that's like air silence is not a good thing, but I feel like in the spiritual world there needs to be a little bit of pause, because that information needs to just settle in for a minute before we move on. And we usually have very ADHD conversations. They are all over the place and they always come back around, and so folks who can't listen to this kind of stuff won't.
And that's okay, because our numbers, the people who need to hear this, the people who find themselves aligned to find this, whether you're listening live, thank you guys for being here, or you're listening to the replay, thank you for sticking around. You think that matters to me? If there were two people in here, we'd still have the same conversation.
Yes, because what we value is the impact that we know we are making through space and time to whomever sees this whenever. We value the impact of our work. That's nourishing and replenishing for us, because we are being truly aligned with who we are by sharing our gifts on these platforms and giving of our own selves and energy and knowledge and experience.
Right.
And we know our value, so we give it freely. But not give it where it's not valued. Because you learn your value, you don't stay in places that don't value you. That's very important for you to also understand, because you don't get to strengthen your self-worth and sovereignty without those boundaries that he was just talking about. So you do need to have both simultaneously. And boundaries are the most loving thing you can do for yourself. I'm maintaining a boundary for myself right now, and I'm resisting the urge to communicate with an individual who is unhealthy for me. It is so like, oof. It's right there. And I'm allowing myself to be like, okay, I see you and I recognize you, and I love myself so much more. And I recognize that there's a capacity issue because of levels of understanding and conscious awareness. I've reached a conscious awareness of I value myself so much that I don't give a fuck if your feelings are hurt about my distance, because you're not respecting my boundaries. That's a you thing.
Now, take this for, if you're listening, for however you will, okay? But this is a factual thing. Next week, I will be making a major change to my Facebook group, like I mentioned. It's turning into subscription only. I want people in there who want to be there, who value being in there. And the incentive for continuing to stay in there is $1.99 a month. And currently, I will be removing 90%
of the membership in there. Let that sink in. And I'm not resentful about it. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm not resentful about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I value myself and I value my time. I value what I put into it. I value the efforts that I put into everything that I do. And it's time that I stand in that power and start setting some lines with love,
Mm-hmm.
not only for everybody around me and who that's going to affect, but myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I'm more than a number. And I don't need large numbers to prove that I am worth what I can give. And neither do you. You don't have to have large amounts of anything except to pay the bills.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Keep in mind, this is not poo-pooing any kind of financial success.
No, but we're poo-pooing society's decision to tell everyone and teach everyone and program everyone to believe that you're only worth what your productivity and your paycheck says. That's the bullshit.
I guarantee when you listen to the song at the end of the show, it's going to hit a little differently.
Yeah. The bullshit is placing your worth in a number. Whether it be a paycheck number, whether it be an online number, whether it be the number you were picked on a team, like some trauma's that deep, okay? I'm calling it all out. The value that we have within ourselves, we need to recognize and accept. It's like radical acceptance for your own worth. You have to radically accept the idea that it's just a truth and start building on that and seeing your life. It doesn't mean you're not going to go through stuff and you're not going to be devalued and your people aren't going to use you and take advantage. But you're learning, you're able, with that learning, with that process of self-awareness, with that process of valuing yourself enough to regulate yourself so that you can reflect and redirect. Okay, go watch every episode. It's all in there. The how-tos are all in there. You need to do that for yourself in order to get yourself to that place of, I love myself so much, I don't give a fuck. There's sorry for the cursing, but I'm not sorry. There's a healthy dose of I don't give a fuck that Michael's going to achieve. I know you are. I saw your comment before.
Oh, he's already there. He's already there.
He made a comment. He wanted to reach my level of not giving a fuck.
He's having so much trouble finding a fuck that if you gave him GPS that drove the car for him, he still couldn't find one.
Thank you, Deborah, for the confirmation. Somebody needed to hear that. Yes, and I see having a small circle. Yeah, so that's what happens. There are times in our healing journey where our value is what we have to really hyper focus on, because it gets really lonely when we see just how much BS there is around us. When we become so aware, it does have its points of loneliness, even though, and this is where you have to do the work and value yourself and hyper focus on that value so that you can decide that you are enough with yourself and do things joyfully, creatively with yourself, for yourself, to help yourself be comfortable in that strange place in between that we find ourselves. I might talk about limbo on Monday. I might not. I'm still on the fence with that one. But there is that strange place of transition. We're not who we used to be, but we haven't yet turned into who we're trying to become or we think we want to become, because it's still a little bit fuzzy. So that might be the Blooms conversation. I'm not sure.
I see we got 12 people watching right now. I want to poll this dozen.
Okay, let's go.
Put in the comments, if you dare, what is your definition of success?
Yes.
Because so many times we base our definition of success based on someone else's worth, what they say, what they dictate, how much they make.
How many of us had parents who said, become a doctor or a lawyer?
My parents just wanted me to be able to have something to fall back on if my choice didn't go through and I didn't listen. And that was one thing that I wish I had. Because I would have different skills that I could really be putting to use right now.
It's part of our learning curve, and it's part of what we're meant to experience along our journey.
All right, we got to wake up the next day. My kids survived the day. That's success for Bubble Kittens. Deborah says to be happy and enjoy my simple life. Michelle, all I wanted was for mine to graduate high school, and they did. Okay.
Yeah.
Michael, am I happy with what I accomplished that day, or if I actually put the effort into creating something? April, achievements.
This might be a good time to bring in another Dolly Parton quote. Okay, Dolly also said, if you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one.
She did.
She did. She did. I love that. I love the time. I'm sorry. I hate that she's gone. I really do. But I love the timing with our show. So thank you, Dolly, for that gift, even though you didn't know who we are. Whatever. I'll take it. Because she really was the epitome of self-empowerment and self-love before it was trending and before the internet told us about it. You know, for some of us, that's how we learned. I learned through a friend in 2019. I literally learned about self-love for the first time in 2019.
I have a different question to ask the viewing audience. Two left. That's okay. To the remaining people watching. How many of you answered my question with an answer you thought I might want to hear or make yourself look better? This is why people run from me. Because I ask the hard questions.
So while we're answering questions, let's answer well, how do I value myself? We talked about setting boundaries. How about honoring your needs? Honoring your needs. Part of honoring your needs is setting boundaries, yes. But what about taking a break when you need to? Saying, no, thank you, because it does this to me and I can't do that. You know, saying no as a full sentence. Just what about not judging yourself? Because you're asking yourself all these questions. In what ways am I devaluing myself because I was taught to do so? And if you
love what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I love what I'm saying. And I already knew that. I'm just checking in.
I love the support that they give each other. Thank you for giving each other support. That's beautiful. This is exactly what we want. We want a loving space for everyone to just share their shit. Because, Lordy, we all got shit, don't we?
And everyone who answered the second one, they meant what they said the first time. Good. I knew you did. I just wanted to make sure you did.
Yeah. I feel as though we're all on this incredible journey together, and between these eclipses and with all this energy that's in
Maud, I forgot about the next one.
A lot of sensitivities and a lot of like emotions are coming up in this in between time massively for a lot of people. Plus we're all very sensitive, so we're picking up on other people's stuff. It's super important to really hyper focus in on our core, innate, inherent value that we are birthed here in this plane of existence with, just as a being having a human experience. Our presence alone is a gift. Okay. To whomever. Even if we're in survival mode and not so kind, well, we might resonate with somebody else on some level that's also not so kind, but got it. And there's always a value to us on every stage of our journey at every level of awareness.
And sometimes that value is actually lower without it being a bad thing. What about those times when you are not needed and it's not a bad thing? What about those times when you're not needed yet you force yourself or think you force your way into someone else
Ooh,
because you want to prove your worth is still needed?
ooh, ooh.
Yes, Diane.
With what you just said, the fastest way you can help yourself with that kind of stuff is stop taking everything personally. You're devaluing yourself by taking things personally. It's not about you. It's always about someone else's experience with you. How they receive you is based on their limited experience and knowledge in their own journey and what they, project.
I'm sorry. I'm speaking of projector. I'm sorry to call this out, but I have to call this out. My husband values me way more than I do. Girl, come here. Stop. Stop that.
So ask yourself, why do I feel that way? Why can't I see myself through his eyes? Do I require him to do that for me? Am I expecting him to do that emotional labor for me? I think you can do the work to see your own worth. I'm not calling you out in that way, in a negative way. I'm saying, like, you can see your own value through his eyes. Give yourself permission to, and allow yourself to walk through that a little bit. Nobody has to know about it. It could just happen. It's an inside job. It's all inside. Nobody has to know. So that you can recognize the worth within yourself, and that will alleviate a lot of the things that kind of sabotage some things within that relationship. And maybe you'll feel so valuable of yourself that it'll trigger him, and he'll recognize the ways in which he doesn't value himself as much, and then you can help each other grow. That's kind of the idea.
Yeah, does everybody, I know we have a few new people, but does everybody remember the parasympathetic hug I showed you a few weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in case you weren't here for that particular show, left hand, right armpit, right hand, left shoulder, gentle squeeze, doesn't require much. Do that. You too, April, do it. And while you're doing that, I love myself. I value myself. I am important. I matter.
I know this is going to sound funny, but part of the how to value yourself is doing mirror work. And part of that mirror work is just staring at yourself in the mirror and just pointing out things that you're okay with, that you're like, yeah, it's not too bad. Let's start there. And then, you know what, maybe you can bring in some compliments that you've received throughout your entire life from people that you were like, mm-hmm. Bring in those compliments and allow yourself to receive that. Sometimes we need to start in the physical world. So sometimes starting with this physical meat suit is a good place to start for our value, because a lot of times we shame ourselves for this physical meat suit in so many different ways that we don't even give ourselves half a chance to go and emotionally value ourselves. So maybe if you struggle with that radical acceptance, let's start small and start with the meat suit. Okay? It's a meat suit that's you're still ticking, you're still alive. Granted, the war you've lived through multitude of times has left you with battle scars and some things that need some assistance, but you're still ticking, man, and it's still working good. Considering the shit, you are still alive for Christ's sakes, you know? And so value it for what it is. It's your car. Your spirit is driving this vehicle. Value your car. It's the only one you got. Society and culture made it all about appearances and superficial. They place the value in the wrong place. That's another thing I think this conversation is good for, and questions are good for. Where was I taught to place value where value doesn't fit and doesn't belong? My physical body does not at all indicate my worth or value. It's on its own journey.
And sometimes we wake up feeling like we belong in an elderly home. Yes, I saw that too. And then we're like, oh yeah, the body's still doing its job, huh? Sure, okay. Well, this fucking sucks. I don't. You're fired.
Sometimes we have to get new parts installed. Like, just whatever. Literally, it's a damn bio car. Not an object to be visually, aesthetically pleasing to whoever decides that on that decade. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. So I feel like for me, the big takeaway for you guys is to please examine what you learned was value and had value and what was associated with your worth and value, and decide for your damn self what that is for you. Ask yourself, what do I believe success looks like? What is success for me? When do I feel my greatest? When do I feel elevated? When do I feel good about myself? When do I feel like I'm in my flow and content?
And take a damn compliment.
Take a compliment. Receive it.
Receive it.
Receive the compliment. Let it sink in. Let yourself look at yourself intentionally and decide to see yourself the way they see you. Are you calling them a liar? If they see you that way, that's their choice. That's their perspective. And some of us find beauty in so much in life. And that's part of my experience and brings me joy in my life and keeps me elevated. I see beauty everywhere. And it's real, solid, genuine, like, ooh, ah, ee. I'm like a kid for fireworks. Ooh.
Yeah.
Let yourself believe. Cocoon comes to mind. Oh gosh, the body dysmorphia that we have experienced from valuing the physical body in the wrong way. Just switch it to the idea that this is a car and I value my car and I'm going to change the oil and I'm going to let it rest instead of running out of gas. I'm going to change the tires, meaning take care of your body, take care of your vessel in whatever ways you have the capacity to. Anything is taking care of you.
Right.
If it's intentional. There's so many different ways for you to see your inherent worth. And your inherent worth is by default. That is the original operating system. Your worthiness and your love is the original operating system before all that software and apps and, cookies get installed throughout life that fuck things up.
Even the creative cookies, and that one's for Deborah. No one, without your permission, can take your value away from you. Without your permission. Nothing they do, nothing they say.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Sometimes there's physical damage that is irreversible done, and that could be argued for days. But who you are, innately, intrinsically, is more valuable than anything in this world. More valuable than me, more valuable than husbands, leaders. Cannot, without your direct permission, be taken away.
And I'm going to add that as you go along and you realize and recognize and become more aware of things, and you recognize that you gave permission without understanding what it was doing to you and that it wasn't okay, don't shame yourself. Just acknowledge that understanding and thank yourself for having that awareness of seeing that new level of value in yourself. Redirect towards valuing yourself, which includes not shaming and judging, but instead appreciating your awareness levels that you reach.
You're more than a number. You're more than the shame you received and the judgment. Wait, that's not what came through. You're more than a number. You're more than the judgments that were given to you that created the shame, that created the deficit.
I'm going to go so far as to say is that we are all powerful beings in our own unique way. And whatever that presents itself as in this experience, it presents itself as, and however we impact people, we impact people. That sometimes that smile that Dolly mentioned that adds to your face value could save someone's life. Maybe somebody needed someone to see them, and you did. So you don't know how you impact people. Don't underestimate your value based on the limited people telling you what it is that's not what you're aligned with.
Yep.
Just know it in here so you can update the software in there.
And if you've received a lot of judgments and shames, as Sheila pointed out, did you accept them?
Mm-hmm.
Did you agree to them?
Yeah. My favorite statement is, you judge yourself that way, and there's two of them, and ew, no, that's your limitation. Don't project that at me. I don't judge myself that way. Don't judge me that way. I don't judge myself that way. That's what I say to people. And yes, it rubs them the wrong way. But I said,
kind of like if I'm too much for you, then find less.
I mean, it's my truth. And that's my boundary. I do not accept your judgment. I do not accept your shame. Your limitations are not mine.
If my level of value of myself is too much for you, please go find less.
And
That's a rewrite.
I feel like that phrase alone needs a rewrite. Is that what you said?
I just rewrote it, but yes.
Okay. I feel like we could tweak it a little bit more.
All right, tweak it one more time. Go ahead.
And say, because it is really just alignment.
Yeah.
And telling people they're kind of, I don't think there is a less or more. I think it's just different levels of conscious awareness of self. And so I even want to change that statement. I love that statement myself. And as you were saying it, I'm like, you know what though? As my brain does sometimes. And I feel as though we need to instead say there's a misalignment here, and we're at different spaces and places in our journey. So I think you'd be better off finding what's more aligned with you, what your needs are. Because I value myself enough to not take offense to that. And I almost feel like sometimes we say things, even sometimes, even just reflecting on what I said 5 seconds ago with the statements to say, I'm like, did I sound right? Or was that an asshole thing to say? Did it come out right? What was my tone like? I hear myself talk and I ask myself those questions and I say it again in my head in a healthier way when I catch myself. Or if I have to say it out loud in a circumstance, I will, you know? But I feel as though the way we communicate too reflects our value and our self-worth. Are we speaking passive aggressively? Are we speaking in self-deprecation? Are we speaking with impatience? These are all little things that are self-sabotaging so that we can start to identify when we evaluate. And I know we're almost at time, so we have to end on time tonight. Micah, I'm going to shut it. Close us out. Thank you, everyone.
Numbers might matter. They might. In order to gain access to other things. For instance, and this will be kind of my closing thoughts. For instance, there were certain numbers and requirements that I had to meet, that everybody on Facebook has to meet in order to even ask for other people to subscribe. Things that I'm not completely in alignment with brought me that because of views and clicks. Not what I'm about, though. I'll still post out my opinions sometimes and my guidance about it. But you don't have to achieve that. If that's what you want, work for it. But you're more than the number you're working for. And that's where all of this ties in. You are more than the number that you are working towards. Because what you are actually worth will never match a bank account, the number of pairs of shoes that you have, cars, houses, friends, followers. It'll never match what you're actually worth. So keep that in mind. And we will be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. with Michael J. to finish up the trio of the Oracle to see what kind of shit we can't make up on the core.
We're going to find out. I love you all.
Love you guys so much. And here is More Than a Number. One more time. We'll see you.
Here's the truth. No one will tell you. You will never know just how valuable you really are. You are more than the number, more than an amount. The value inside you, no one can count. Taught from very early ages that value is found in high wages. Success is measured by the top jobs, mostly filled with tyrants and snobs. What does value really mean? Isn't it time that we all come clean to realize the true value hiding inside? Always worth more, no need to hide. You should know that. You are more than a number, more than a number, more than an amount, oh, more than an amount. The value inside you, no one can count. A fire of truth, now impact you make may never be seen, glorified by society on what that should mean. Can't be tracked in a register or in a quarter. There's more that's inside to take note of. A gift that was given for you to share, when not enough realize has always been there. Society demands different by design, while inside the truth becomes a blurred line. You forget that. You are more than a number. You are more than a number. More than an amount. Oh, more than an amount. The value inside you. Oh, no one can count. Count, 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 count. A fire of truth. Oh, oh. Not enough have been shown. Oh, treasure of wealth. That only you own. You matter, you're worth it. Not a credit line to forfeit. A piece of spirit that only you own. Regardless of lies that you have been shown. You are more than a number, no need to count. More than an amount. Can't be defined. The value inside you, divinely pure. No one can count. No fire of truth. No need to refine. Not enough have been shown, but it's there. Treasure of wealth. Oh, that only you own. When you remember that no one dictates your worth but you will realize your true value that was gifted from the very beginning.
Hey, this is Brindlewolf. You're listening to Rise Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action, with programs to spark your growth, lift your spirits, and help you rise into your potential. Rise Awakenings, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice where dreams awaken and climb. Rise Awakenings, now is the time. Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.